Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines for Living.
When you have a difficult person in your life, and who doesn't, you have 4 basic options. Much the same as how you would deal with a pair of shoes that hurt your feet because a nail has worked its way through the sole. You can walk away from the difficult person, ignore the pain, perhaps getting callous to his difficult personality. Put some space between you and him, which allows you to live with the situation, or respond to the difficult person, which allows you to cope. This is usually the most positive, the most satisfactory course of action when a difficult person really begins to get to you. 4 steps lead to resolution, and some of them are so obvious that you may say, "Yes, I already know that." But when the adrenalin begins to pump and your hands perspire and your blood pressure soars, you often jump or react, proving to the world you have the capacity of being just as difficult as the difficult person in your life. Guideline number 1 in coping with a difficult person is strive to understand what makes him difficult. Why are people difficult? Many reasons. Some are under tremendous personal pressures you know nothing about. A marriage is going sour, a child is sick, a boyfriend has just taken a hike. Your boss has just miscarried for the 2nd time. Some people are emotional cripples, wounded from childhood, scarred with memories and burned by others. The person who appears to be very difficult really isn't that difficult, but he appears to be a real pain in the neck. Dr. Carl Menninger, the common-sense psychiatrist, used the illustration of a fish who had swallowed a hook which a fisherman was reeling in. When the fisherman starts to crank on the line, the fish flops around in the water. Other fish look at the gyrations of their fellow fish and say, "He sure swims crazy. Something is really the matter with him for sure." They can't see the invisible line which is getting tighter and tighter. Getting to know the difficult person often eliminates the barrier between the two of you. Have a cup of coffee together. Do something nice for the difficult person. Ask yourself, is this person difficult simply because he's responding to me as a difficult person as well? When one employee was having lunch, the subject of a difficult supervisor came up. And after pausing, wondering whether or not to say something, one woman said, "Do you know what she's going through?" "No," replied the man who had been grumbling and complaining. She told him. Her mother had just died. She had been diagnosed with cancer. Her husband had left her. After a few minutes of silence, the one who initiated the conversation said, "Well, if I were in her shoes, I'd probably be difficult as well." Some people who appear to be difficult, let's face it, are difficult. They are different. Whether they were born that way or raised by dysfunctional parents, wounded by life, just plain evil, or struggling with a massive inferiority complex which makes them overcompensate by showing you who is boss, they're going to be difficult no matter what you do. Guideline number 2, in dealing with a difficult person, is to pray for that individual and about your relationship with that person. You're going to have to deal with the situation, so first say, "Lord, this person is really getting to me. I need to know how to respond to this individual. I not only want you to change the difficult person in my life, change me too, Lord." And when you have prayed, you're ready to take the next step, how you respond.
You've just heard Dr. Harold Sala with Guidelines for Living. If you'd like to listen to the program again, download a copy, subscribe to our devotional, or view other resources, visit guidelines.org. We would like to hear from you too. You can email us at info@guidelines.org. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to join us again for the next edition of Guidelines.